Beyond, my name is Colin Moriarty. I'm IGN's senior editor, and I have something pretty exciting to show you if you have a PlayStation 3 or PlayStation Vita hanging around, and if you're a Final Fantasy fan. As you know, Final Fantasy X 10.2 HD Remaster is coming to both PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita very soon. March 18th in North America, March 21st in Europe. It's already out in Japan, and it did really, really well there. It actually outsold Final Fantasy 13.3. So what I wanted to show you was just kind of the packages for the game. Nothing too special here. This is what you're going to be able to find in stores when you purchase the game in just a couple of weeks. But additionally, we had this sent to us from Square, this action figure of Tidus, or Tidus if you don't want to pronounce it like the Japanese do. So I want to show you both of these things, but let's start with the game first. As I said, the game's available on Vita and on PS3, so if we just look at the Vita game real quick, real simple, standard blue case for Vita, really nothing interesting inside except for cool little cards. 3 of them, in fact. We have one with Yuna and Tidus. We have one with some of the other cast members. And then one with Yuna in front and center as well. All of them have this little logo on the back for Final Fantasy X 10.2 HD Remaster, so some cool little collectibles you can keep if you'd like. Additionally, we have, on the other side of this is a code for Final Fantasy X-2 HD, because on the card itself, all you get, if we can take it out, is Final Fantasy X. So this is Final Fantasy X HD. The code for Final Fantasy X-2 HD will come inside, so you get it with every one that you buy. So you get both games. Both have platinum trophies. You're looking at probably 100 plus hours to play both of those games. And then this is the same game but on PlayStation 3, and it comes much like some of the Bethesda games several years ago used to come in a cool little sleeve that you can keep or throw away. Some people like Greg Miller think these look a little weird on your shelf. I personally like them. I like how it changes things up a little bit. But just a nice little well-constructed cardboard sleeve. And then on the inside, it's kind of neat. We have a little booklet, as it were. So you open the book, and it says, and it just gives you a little, I don't want to tell you all it says. It's a note from the producer about, designing the games and all these kinds of things. But then a bunch of really pretty art that you can take a look at here, with some text that will explain to you what's going on in all the various kinds of art. And then in the back, you have the disc for Final Fantasy X 10.2 HD Remaster. Unlike the Vita iteration, both games are on the same disc, and you can see some beautiful art in the background as well. It's the same art that's seen right here. But then we get to the crux of the issue in terms of this unboxing, which is, again, this Tidus Play Arts action figure. This model, this pretty beautiful looking. It looks like it's about a foot tall or so. On the inside, you can see, Tidus and all of his kind of gear that he comes with, as well as a little write-up and some more beautiful art here. That famous shot there, of course. On the back, you can see some poses for him, if you choose to play around with him or pose him on your shelf. Also indicates that Yuna is available, and you might have seen our Yuna unboxing right here on IGN. Below is a bunch of Japanese text because this is made for the Japanese market. So let's open it up and see what's inside. So now we've pulled it out of the box, and there's a bunch of items in here. You don't see this very often with action figures, but there's actually screws and bolts like this is some sort of piece of IKEA furniture. So that's a little disconcerting for me. I'm going to need my girlfriend to put this together for me later, but just like I do with my furniture. But let's take a look before we look at the stand that requires all that hardware. Let's look at the figure itself here. You just pull the plastic sheath, as it were, off of it. And we'll pull the action figure out first of Tidus. Oh dear. It's got that new plastic toy smell that reminds me of being young and opening a G.I. Joe or a Star Wars figure. So here's the figure as he is right now. And he actually looks really great. You can move his arms, at the joints, you can move his torso, which is a little interesting. He actually doesn't twist at the waist, but at the torso. And then you can move his legs as well. Pretty well-made action figure. We'll get you some close-ups, obviously. You might be looking at them now. Additionally, if I can pull it out, we have his sword, which we'll put in his hand soon. A blitz ball. And it looks like, scarily enough, another face, which I'm not even going to mess with because this is creeping me out a little bit. And then there's some tape and plastic to make sure that over these items to make sure that they don't fall out, which are basically his hands, or I guess alternate gloves. This might be to actually interact with the Yuna action figure, which again you might have seen the unboxing on IGN. So we'll pull all these things out. We'll get rid of the plastic here. And then here we have him. We'll put the, let's see, his hands are clenched. So I guess if we want to use the sword, we're going to have to remove Does this come off? How do we do this here? Yep. That's a little creepy. We pull this one off, we put this one on. I don't want to, there we go. There we go. And then we can put the sword in his hands. Because I don't need him hugging anyone. I want him just holding the sword on my shelf here. So he can hold the sword kind of like this. And then we have the stand here, which I'm not even going to attempt to put together. You don't want to see me use a screwdriver and try all these things. No, no, no. But we can kind of just maybe, this is a suggestion for you at home. Maybe you take all these pieces here, you just kind of put them on your shelf and put the blitzball kind of very casually in front of him because he loves playing blitzball. And then if you have the Yuna action figure, you can play around with her as well and put them together and pose them and whatnot. So anyway, we just wanted to share this with you. This was a pretty cool thing that we got in the mail unexpectedly, in addition to, and maybe even more importantly, in the games themselves. So again, you can look for Final Fantasy X, X-2 HD on both PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita, March 18th, 2014 in North America, March 21st in Europe, already out in Japan. These action figures, I assume you can get online. They're made for the Japanese market, but it seems like you might be able to find them here in the Western market as well. So for more on all things Final Fantasy, leading up and culminating with our full review of Final Fantasy X, X-2 HD Remaster, keep it tuned to IGN.